Have you ever logged into Star Stable during winter, excited to visit the winter village, only to run into problems that make it frustrating instead of fun, feeling like it lost its own magic? Well, let me tell you that that's exactly what I feel. Fantasy worlds are supposed to feel magical, fun, and welcoming to everyone, but that's not really the vibe that I've been feeling this year, and this didn't only left me scratching my head, but also other players as well. For example, things that has been removed and not taken back, and then also the effort that wasn't there like we expected. For many and for me, this is something that feels very inconsistent or even disrespectful because the event is still trying to appear as festive, and the game says themselves that this is something festive, fun, but does it really feel that way? Have they ever focused on, okay, let's not only talk, but let's actually show that with our actions too? I feel like the result is not here yet. This feels like a unfinished project because it feels shallow, confusing, and far from the magical experience that people were actually expecting. And this is the reason to why I'm making this video, because I have felt during a long time now like the game just tries to say one thing, but they don't really reach the expectations that we all had. And I feel very disappointed. For you who haven't seen me or watched me before, I am Silvana Diamond Bill. I have started Star Stable during the year 2013, so I'm a very old player and I have been here since the old times. This is my second YouTube video, which is very fun, and I really want to share my opinions on the Winter Village and why this has become a problem. In my video, I'm going to start off by first talking about the good things that has been added to the Winter Village, and then I'm gonna go on to the bad things, which is gonna be the main theme of this entire video that I'm making. And remember, most of the time when I'm speaking, it is only from my own experiences or things that I know that people have commented on. I myself have also been talking to different people and I have been asking for their opinions, what they think about this year's Winter Village. So, yeah. Well, the first good thing is the new horses that came out this year. And it truly amazed me because I feel like this is what we need, which is more color, detail, and something we haven't really seen before. We are very used to Magic Horse being wonderful when it's magic, but then when it's normal, it just loses its magicness. Not completely, but a little. For example, like the other horses right there, I can actually show there's not really much of a difference between these when they are magic and normal. This is how it looks like when it's magic, this is how it looks like when it's normal. So not that much difference, which I think is a bit bad. But let's go back to the this year's horses. Alright, so what truly amazed me with those horses is that they look very interesting. They look like something we haven't really seen before. And they're so different. And a magic horse is actually supposed to keep that interesting difference that differs it or them from other horses on Jorvik, even if it's in the normal form. And one good example of the normal form that I would like to see more of is this one, where It's very beautiful when it's magic, and then when it's normal, you still notice that, okay, this horse is actually special. There must be something with this horse. Because that's the vibe I'm getting from this one. The blue one is also very cute and I love it. And to be honest, my actual taste is the blue one. Because I am more drawn to the darker vibe with mystery. Sadly, this one only looks good when it's magic, and then when it's normal, it turns black and it looks more similar to the other coat colors on horses in Jorvik in general, which makes it boring to ride when it's normal. I would like them to be more like the Khan horse from Starshine Legacy. They had a lot of personality and no one else were like the horses that were produced in that game. And it actually didn't matter if it was about humans or horses in that Starshine Legacy game because they all had their own personalities, and that's also what could make them be so different from each other, but in a very good and interesting way. So, for example, what I would want more of this is dark base that will be completely fine, but just like the hair. The hair will be cooler if it will be dark blue instead, like very, very dark blue, and not like this, because honestly, the game makes a lot of similar coat colors to almost every breed, which I think is something that they should think more of. And I know that, for example, some breeds aren't allowed to have some colors, but if they want to make this game into a fantasy game anyway, then I absolutely think that this is something they should think more of because it's not boring. I mean, it's not interesting buying different breeds, but that still look very similar only because of the color. So yeah. Um yeah, I think this was it with the horses. In general, overall, I truly think this is one of the most positive thing about this year's um, Winter Village updates. They did very good with the horses. But let's move on to the next thing that I think is very good that has been added, and it's named the Gnome Agiden. Here it is. The Gnome Agiden is. How can I explain this? This is something where you can do daily quests every day in order to, like, as you can see, earn points and then in the end also earn the rewards that are here. And I myself think it's truly great. I love that. I love the fact that they came up with new animals that you can have in your little horse bag, for example, like the gingerbread and the cute little shark with a Santa hat. I want to see more of that. More new stuff, new rewards that we haven't seen. And not, for example, only cats, dogs, or whatever it can be, maybe rabbits, because we already have so much of that in the game. And having special rewards that you can do every day and, earn in the future after doing quests, that makes players more motivated to log in. And you have something to do because you want those things, and of course, you're going to go and like try to get just as much points as you can just to be able in the end to get the rewards you want. So very good. This is something that I definitely want to keep seeing in the future. The next thing that I think that many other people could also agree with me with are the cute animals that you can ride on. So this isn't something that always existed in the game. And riding animals is something you could do for a long time in the game, and it's still available, but it's not something that have always been available. So, for example, when the Winter Village first came out, the animals weren't here. And while this actually very interesting ability, or I don't know how to call this, um, maybe yeah, ability. Before this ability came that you can ride different animals, I have always been thinking to myself, okay, how does it feel to actually be on another animal? How does it feel when you are trying to explore more, but instead with something else that is not your horse? I don't remember exactly what year these animals came out in the game, but before that I always imagined how it's like to have any other animal that is not your horse, and I got very happy when they released this, as I also mentioned before. More of the things that is different is clearly needed. I'm gonna see if I can just write on this one, just to show an example. Yes, okay, look, so the reason to why I got so happy when this finally got released, look! Isn't it just so amazing? Isn't this so cute and just so fun to jump around like this? It's amazing, and you can have very fun without your horse. Maybe it's a bit mean to say it that way, but I feel like, yeah, my horse is gonna be my best friend, but if you want to take very cute pictures, you could ride on animals, other animals, and you can make it look very cool. So yeah, honestly, I don't have that much good things to say about this year's update, because I'm gonna be focusing more on the serious aspects and what they have done. So right now I have only mentioned three things, which is the new winter horses, the Nom and Kiden, and then the ability to ride the animals. These three things, please never remove them. I like that a lot. And yeah, maybe if we can add one thing, this thing here. This is something that I think also got a few reactions, and this is a positive thing, very positive thing, that you can take pictures in this thing right here. It can look actually very cool, and I have also by myself on this. You can just get so cool effects, especially if you are using reshade and stuff, so yeah. But alright guys, let's start with the more serious stuff that I plan to bring up. When it comes to the bad things, I must speak about all of them together, so I won't first bring up one thing, speak about that, and then like another. I'm gonna like jump onto different aspects because everything matters and they're all connected. Because this is about the entire Winter Festival in general, and no thing is or even can be complete without another. So this is also where the video's main point is gonna be talked about, which is the way the entire idea just became disrespectful toward players and the Christianity religion. And I'm gonna come to that very soon. Well, first of all, the look of the Winter Village really needs to change. In previous years, the area was filled with colorful, glowing decorations that created a warm and festive feeling. The lights were pleasant to look at and made the place feel alive and welcoming. I don't know why they did such an unnecessary thing to just remove, because like for example there used to be one thing that was up there, and then it was hanging all over the place like this, and it felt so cozy. And they just removed that. And for the first time, when they actually did decide to remove everything, I was just thinking, okay, what did they do? Um, Now everything feels much darker with muted colors and weak lighting. Oh my god, sorry for my English. I meant lighting. And that is more tiring for the eyes than cozy, if I'm being honest. And instead of feeling like a winter celebration, the village almost feels abandoned in some kind of way, like something is truly missing. There's nothing that really draws players in or makes them want to stay. I haven't felt like I want to stay here for long. I always make sure to do the daily quests and then I just continue to just, I don't know, be in Jorvik instead, either training my horses or go on to another game. Um, the village should feel warm and inviting, not having this weird dark energy, so flat and like forgotten. This isn't actually the first time the lighting in the Winter Village has been an issue. I can take an example actually. A few years ago, players reacted very strongly to how dark the area had become after a visual change, and I think 2024 when this happened. The lighting and filters made everything feel muted and harder to look at. I'm not sure still if that was actually a bug that they later on fixed, but it does feel like they wanted it to be that dark on purpose. I can't say anything for sure, but this is just what I feel, what I think. So, um, and when you do include dark colors like that, I know they removed it, but honestly, does it really look better now? I don't think so. I'm sorry, but like, no. Where is the decorations on the houses? Ooh. I just need to show you. Like, what is this? Okay, this little thing right here, and the plants, but this house isn't decorated. The only thing that actually decorated the house is the snow, literally, and nothing else. So they really need to think about that again. Um, when a place that's supposed to feel magical and safe instead feels cold and empty, the whole point of the event is lost. So if you ask me, you can't really call it a winter festival if you don't make it feel like a real winter festival. And the winter village should feel lively, warm, inviting, and not dark. Um, and about this bug again, I'm just gonna say bug because I think that was what it was. Or maybe not, but yeah, I think you understand what I'm trying to say. Players started to complain because I thought it was very bad for my eyes. Like, it felt so annoying for my eyes, and I know that even other players said that it felt very annoying even for their eyes, and the developers did end up fixing it. And this is why it's frustrating for some players to see. Because okay, yeah, did they did fix this, but it's like we are heading back in the same direction now again. Um, because it's a problem that's already been pointed out and fixed once before. Yeah, as I said, we can see a bit better now. Like, we aren't as blind anymore, but we need more energy, we need attraction to the actual place, which doesn't seem to exist at all right now. So, they have, for example, been adding fireworks here. There's a little dancing, I don't know how you say it, dancing. There's a dance thing here, so I can just, okay, get off my horse and then start dancing. Let's see. Let's do it for a little while. Woo! Uh, well, it can be nice for things such as cabins, but I don't think people are actually coming here just to dance. Hmm. Okay, which dance will we have? Maybe. You know what? I'm gonna do this one. It's very interesting and funny. So yeah, let's dance while it's off. So yeah, and now you probably wonder, okay, you have said a lot of things. Like, you said a lot of things, but can you maybe give examples? Of course I can. Okay, so how can we make the place better then? Make the place even bigger, brighter, like have more decorations. I don't want to see empty houses where the snow is the only decoration they have. Like, no. Decorate the houses even more with more lights. Maybe snow or not. I think, okay, snow is enough, but for example, gingerbread sweets. Some idea that I had was and this is something, by the way, that I mentioned to my own club members, and I told them that it will be so fun if the game could have like a little gingerbread land or a house that is only made out of gingerbread, and you can step into the house and look around and see how it is. That will be so fun. See, like, there's so many good ideas, and I think the players also have good ideas, but their ideas aren't really appreciated or seen. It feels like the game developers that are right now focus more on their own interests and what they think is right rather than what the players want. Um, so, and also, okay, now we need to talk about Santa, and I need to show you where he stood before, during the early years when Santa was available in the game. I'm gonna show you exactly where he stood. He used to be here. Wait, we're soon there. He used to be here. Instead of like this little creature, Santa was here and you could talk to him. There was good quests, story about Santa and stuff, and now he's not even here. It doesn't even feel like Christmas. So, let's just be real, honestly. Where is Santa, and why can't he be in the game to welcome us to his own village? Wasn't this actually originally meant to be his place? I still remember the old quests where Santa delivered presents in Jarline, for example, and that quest, they were actually very fun, silly, and even perfect for kids because they talk so much about, oh yeah, we want to do the game more suitable for kids. Okay. Mm, that kind of playful storytelling is exactly what makes games magical for younger players, so why are you removing it? I can say from my own experience from when I was a child a few years ago, I used to love celebrating Christmas here in the game, and now Star Stable says they don't want anything religious. They don't want any religious elements in the game. And this is when it becomes a problem. This is a very huge problem. I'm sorry, but like, what do you mean by saying we don't want to make the game religious, but at the same time, you add a pagan tradition instead? I'm gonna show you. Here, for example, it says, in some Yule gifts. Yule is a pagan tradition, so for example, if you're Christian and you're celebrating Christmas, you say, in some Christmas gifts, you don't say Yule gifts. So this Yule thing right there is pagan. And you know what? Okay. Alright. If you want to make the game not religious, then why are you still removing pagan things? Because even, for example, if Christmas did exist long before Christianity. Why are you deciding to remove Santa? Why are you deciding to still give out presents then? I just feel like this. Oh my god, I feel like this doesn't make sense. If you don't want any tradition, no religion, no nothing, remove the Christmas tree, remove the presents, and only make this entire place to the, I don't know, something maybe called Winter Village. Um, and also, when they say that they don't want to have anything religious in the game, it feels like they try to shape the kids from how they think, like, and I'm speaking about the Star Stable team. They try to shape kids' experiences from how they think is right. You making kids afraid of religion is very unprofessional. That's just very unprofessional, and I see no reason of them doing that. For example, I play a game called Where Winds Meet, and that's a Chinese game based on Chinese traditions. For example, a person was there called Buddha, and that's like a religion thing. And if you don't like any religious game, don't play them. I see no reason removing things you already had in the game from the start just because, honestly, I don't even know. I don't know what made them remove all of that. Either if they have maybe got criticism for from players, or if it was their own idea. But I definitely think that if it was their own idea, they have lost a lot of what actually made Star Stable to Star Stable. Star Stable's identity is lost. And I also remember traditions like, for example, Midsummer. Star Stable is a Swedish game. Why do you need to remove Swedish traditions? Do you really think that this game I'm playing, Where Winds Meet, do you think they remove Chinese tradition only because you don't like it? No, no, they won't actually listen to you. And yeah. Anyways, the game I mentioned called Where Winds Meet is for a Chinese audience, and they're not removing their own traditions. And I think that's a very good thing because they teach children about their religion, their traditions in a playful way, and also culture while the game is still fun. You can do a lot of quests, fight bosses, and Star Stable could do that too instead of erasing familiar traditions. And by removing Santa and changing these celebrations, it's almost it just feels disrespectful to the culture and history behind them. Because okay, I will understand if Star Stable never will have something included, stuff like, traditions, religion, or anything like that. Okay, sure, you didn't have that from the beginning. You do not need to maybe, um, well, how can I say, add them into the game if that's what you think is bad. But also making it seem like it's bad, that's already very bad. And realistically, Star Stable was actually made for a Swedish audience, and that's why it included traditions like Midsummer. So why do you need to remove your own identity? Why? And even if I was a game producer and people say, "Oh, remove religion," okay, to be clear, if I will have a game and people would start complaining, and not all of the people, but and I know this for sure. I know that there's a lot of people that maybe aren't even religious, but they actually do enjoy celebrating. So I don't say that like, oh, everyone needs to be religious too. No, but I do know that like there are just haters on purpose, and I think it's very disrespectful to hate on religion in general because that's very weird. Very, very weird. Instead of respecting each other, you teach your players to have certain hate for religion, which is also one of the reasons to why hate toward religion has been shown in the Star Stable global chat, for example. So yeah. Um so yeah, it's very sad that they removed things like this, and I think that the country, like Sweden, is being disrespected. This is a Swedish game with Swedish developers. Why are you disrespecting yourself? Children need to have fantasy to be able to develop, and it's weird to not wanting to represent SSO in the way it really is. It's a Swedish game, and how can you know what the game is gonna like? Or how can... Okay, um, the team don't really know what the game is gonna consist of or what purpose it's actually gonna have, and this is a vibe I've also been feeling recently from them. No hate specifically toward like any team member or anything, that's not what I'm saying. But as an entire team, you need to be able to work together to come up with ideas and not only think from one perspective but from different perspectives. Um, so what I felt is that the game doesn't really have purpose, and it's a little bit shown in their content. Um, and especially this Winter Village thing. Something I can say is also that them offering things like deals, for example, star coins. Oh, buy star coins, buy horses. They have been releasing a lot of horses recently too, which probably made people wanting to buy star coins even more to get their new horses. And sure, yeah, new horses are fun, and that can be very fun, but seriously, what are you going to do with that new horse if you can't explore a new place, or if you can't even enjoy Winter Village like you deserve to do? Um, that's just a waste of money on something that didn't really give you experience. So okay, we offer them money, but they aren't offering us something back, you know? I can pay my own game and make my own game, honestly, from that money that like people have spent on this Star Stable online game. And I think it's a bit dangerous because I don't think people are just sometimes aware of how much money they do take for things, and then we aren't being given things back. It's very unfair, and it should even be illegal. Like that should be illegal, honestly. That's just like so crazy. And yeah. So I truly hope that one day maybe, I'm not like, I don't know for sure, but I still hope one day that they are gonna fix this, that the game is gonna in general take more responsibility when it comes to offering things too much to the point where they themselves like gets reported, because this is true. They have been reported for different things, and one of them is like money. But yeah, that's not what the main content is right now. What I mean with this is just that like of course. Winter horses are fun. Like, okay, for example, winter horses, they're amazing. But why creating winter horses when you can't even offer something good? A good story quest, a winter village story quest. Um, and you try to make kids scared of religion. Alright. So what exactly do you mean by this? Do you mean that religion is bad? Something I think is that they removed it because, for example, there are other people with other religions here in this game that maybe do not feel comfortable with celebrating. But honestly, this pagan tradition is the same thing as Christmas, so it's a bit unnecessary to not call it Christmas. Or if you don't want to call it Christmas, okay, don't do it, but bring back Santa because Santa actually doesn't have anything to do with Christianity. Um, no, like how could you believe Santa got something to do with Christians? That's just not true at all. And this is also a bad thing, them making false assumptions. Before you decide to remove something and then blame it on religion, research more. Be more educated in the thing you actually try to confess or yeah, just tell other people because it can be very wrong. It can come out very wrong, and that's why so much disagreements have been something that has been going on for a long time now, and it has been like this for a few years. So yeah, except for this, no Santa, no Christmas, no real celebration thing, I also want to say that it's a bit sad that every time we do open a present here, it disappears. It will look less depressing if, even if we do open a present, that they can, in some kind of way, be here. Because now it's just so empty and it's almost the same thing as we haven't even opened one present at all. And let's also talk about the rewards we get. Okay, the gnome Gideon, I loved it, but the presents, like the presents you open every day, they're supposed to be good looking. I myself doesn't think they look special. I mean, of course, it looks cool. It's cool stuff for your character and for your horse, but it's not Christmassy, you know? And for example, the clothes I have on me, this is the old clothes that you could get before. You can't get them anymore in the game, but you see how colorful they are? They are very colorful. For example, look at the details, snowflakes, you know, real Christmas stuff, real celebrating, real energy, real everything. You can just feel it by looking at it, and I don't get the same emotions when I look at the clothes we have been getting. Let's explore what's in the shops, because I do think some things were interesting. Um, okay, for example, here it seems to be a Western themed clothing, which I absolutely think looks good. I never think anything looks ugly, but why do you need to have a Western themed clothing when it's winter? I don't think people, even in real life, uh, ride around with Western clothes. I know this is a fantasy game and stuff, but come on, let's be real. More celebrating stuff and not the same things. I have been recently seeing a lot of accessories that has something to do with Western, and I think it's just so overwhelming. We have been too much, like, we have been getting too much of the Western stuff. At least that's what I feel. And sure, I mean, okay, but this doesn't look colorful, this doesn't look funny. No, nothing, no personality. Okay, this pattern is cool, but still very dark colors. Very, very dark colors. What I do like is, okay, this is more winter. I approve this. This is like more winter. And see, for example, like the snowflake on the little bag, snowflakes, and also on the boots. I think that's amazing. I did buy gloves with snowflakes on, and I literally did it because I loved the color and I truly loved the snowflake on it. So, like, I had to buy it. But yeah. Okay, this I approve. This is good. But the rewards we got from opening the presents every day, that's absolutely not something that I feel very happy about. Let's see here. Okay, this is a very good example. I am so sorry, but like, what the hell? Cool clothes. I like brown and black, but why when it's winter time? Um, this looks like normal equestrian things you could buy on a daily basis, basically. Yeah, very weird. I just don't like it. I don't know if I'm the only one, but I just don't feel like it's suitable for this. Mm, okay, the leg protections or leg wraps or however you call them in English. And by the way, English isn't my first language, so I hope you still understand what I mean. But yeah, the leg things with little snowflake on it. Okay, that looks for winter. And this hat, I think it's very nice, very cute. But not really the other things like this, no. Especially not this. This is not Christmas, this is not a pagan tradition either, this is not anything, this is straight up emo, this is not for winter. Like, of course you can be dressed however you want, and let me just be clear about one thing. I love emo style, I think that's so cool. I love that, but you can absolutely add that into the shop, but when it's Christmas, focus on making better clothes for the celebration if you really want it to feel like one. This is already better, honestly. This is better. But I will, as I said, I will want to see more alternatives. And not only limited alternatives. This is also good. This is one of the old clothes as well. So I'm like so happy it's there. I'm truly happy the clothes are here. Yeah. And also, the entire place you can see on the map. It's like this, okay? And I will want it to be even bigger. It feels like, okay, we are constantly just running around in the same place all the time. Why can't you make it bigger? Or if you do not want to make it bigger, add even more quests. We have been getting quests. Let's go to the Nomageddon here. You can see like all of the quests. So this is like quests and this is races we have. So like, yeah, it's a few. Yes, I can't lie about that, but are they exciting? I don't know how you feel, but not for me. Check on the magical horses. This is where you need to catch basically wild horses. You need to come closer when the green sign is showed, and then when the red things appear, you stop. It's a signal for like either move or stop. But okay, you know what? Nice, but you can do better. You can do better. You can do things that's gonna be more fun for the players. Decoration disaster. Oh yeah, I need to talk about this one. When you decorate, like there was a quest that came when this place got released, and you talked to this little guy right here, and I'm sorry, but what do you mean we have to go around and decorate the entire Jorvik? Um, okay. First of all, I think it will be good to have Jorvik decorated already from the start, or if you do want to have a decorating quest, please do not drag it out. A lot of players don't even log in to the game on the same day when everything gets released, so they can't do everything directly. And the decorating stuff has been interesting at first for me, but then I got bored and I did spend a lot of time on it. And Christmas is, I mean, I'm choosing to call it Christmas, okay? For me, this is Christmas, but you can call it whatever you want. But yeah, this Christmas celebration is just not a real celebration. This is not even like the way I wanted it to be. Um, so spending your time decorating entire Jorvik until the last day is just too much, I think. Okay, honestly, I just feel like a stable girl that works all day and all night. That's how I feel. Um, okay. Okay. Um, one specific I need to bring up. Oh my god. We need to go there because I need to show you. And this is something that made me so disappointed when it first came out. I am sorry, but what in the world do you mean by having an entire update for fishing? Are you serious? Are you serious? So you made one, two, three, four, five holes in the ice, calling that an update, and you want us to be experts and master the abilities when it comes to fishing? If you want that, okay, but it shall not be an entire update. And the other quests we have also been getting aren't what I expected, and it's very disappointing. They could have added more story quests during the winter. For example, like Santa, bring back Santa. Santa can do something, or maybe, I don't know, another idea of a story quest could be um, save the winter village before it gets destroyed, or like there can be one bad guy wanting to destroy winter for everyone, but you can like be the one to save it. And when someone is destroying Christmas, it doesn't mean that the lighting should disappear and everything is dark. No, it doesn't need to be that way, but more exciting plots, more action. We need more action. I don't want to buy horses constantly. That's not what I want. Especially not when it's events. When it's an event like this place, or Camp Western, or whatever, Um, I expect more, honestly, and if you don't make the effort to put something more, then I don't think you're suitable for producing a game, if I'm being honest. So, yeah. This may sound harsh from my side, but I'm just honest, and I think that a lot of more people can agree with me that horses are nice, but you also want to experience things together with your new horse, not only, yeah, doing nothing, wasting money, buying the horse. logging out. That's literally how the time looks like for a lot of players. Sadly, I wish there was more. I'm back in Valedale again, and there's one last thing I would like to share with you guys, which is this countdown thing. I don't know what this is for. I think it's a countdown for when you're supposed to shoot. Shoot? For when you're supposed to like release a firework, but I'm not sure, and I would love to get more explanation about this. If you know anything about this, please comment in the comment section and tell me. So yeah, things like this do have potential, and I think that this countdown could be used in, for example, different quests and real celebrations. Yeah. And to wrap everything up that I mentioned, I really hope that in the future they will make something better out of the Winter Village and truly improve the boredom surrounding it. It has so much potential, and it will be great to see it become more engaging and enjoyable for players again. I don't know if it's ever gonna happen, but I do hope so. Well, it's 0 right now. Shall I run to the Winter Village and just... But I can talk, oh my god. Should I just run and see if something is gonna happen now? Because I caught this on video, and let's see if something is happening. Okay, nothing's happening. I guess it's just like I thought. Or maybe it's at the party thing they added. Let's see. Okay, I don't know if this is gonna turn out well, but let's just run and see if something is gonna happen. Nothing's happening in the village, but let's see. Maybe here? No, okay, I mean, okay. As I thought, see, nothing's happening. I think you guys got proof right there. Nothing's happening, but yeah, that's very sad. It will be cool if fireworks will be all over the place in the sky. That will be amazing, actually. But yeah, let's hope for a better future. Thank you for watching this video. Share your thoughts and opinions if you'd like. And if there's anything you want to just mention that I have talked about, then you can do it. I'm very open for when it comes to opinions and thoughts and stuff. So I really like to see what people are thinking, even if it's different from my own opinions or anything completely else. Similar, not similar. I just like to read it all and maybe think of more inspirations to maybe future videos and stuff. So yeah, thank you for watching. Have an amazing day or night, depending on when you're watching this or listening. So yeah, bye bye!